The next presentation is by somebody very close to my heart. He's the reason I went to Harvard rather than Stanford, because we were dating then. And he was a sculptor in New York City, and Stanford was just too far away from New York City. Harvard was closer. So that's why I decided to go to Harvard rather than Stanford. Rob has done many things in his life. He's a sculptor. He's a clinical therapist, a social worker. He's an Aikido master, and many other things. But mostly, he's a wonderful human being. So, Rob Vichnis.
Thanks, Adele. Hello, everyone. Hello. It is so good to be here. I love looking out and seeing all your beautiful faces. Can you all hear me? Yeah? Raise your hand if you can hear me. Okay? Raise both your hands. Great. Okay, put your hands down. Okay. So, as Adele said, I've known her over 50 years. We met at summer camp. She was working as a counselor, and she also taught archery, for those of you who don't know. And I was working in the laundry. I was cleaning the campers' clothes. And I liked Adele. But she was 21, and I was 18. So I set her up with my older brother. And that didn't work out. So then she and I ended up being together for a few years. And then we each went our own interesting ways. Adele became Adele, and I became an artist and a psychotherapist specializing in family therapy, and we've stayed connected all these years. It's been wonderful. So Adele asked me to speak about Aikido, which I've been practicing and teaching for 35 years. The title of my talk is From Conflict to Connection, Creating Harmony via the Thinking, Principles, and Philosophy of Aikido. So this is a talk about connection. Connecting with each other when we choose to or not to on a conscious and subconscious level. We're here today because we want to connect. I've been feeling connected to you all for months, looking forward to our getting together. Even though we've been spread out across the globe, thousands of miles apart, I've felt connected, and now here we are, together, connected. Now, I know a lot of you know this, but I'll say it anyway. So we connect in different ways. We often connect without touching. Adele does this beautifully with that smile of hers and that twinkle in her eye that you can, from across a room or a screen now with the pandemic. In Aikido, we bow. Many here have seen babies a few weeks or months old. The way they look at you, right? The way they just take you in and connect, you can feel it, right? We really feel that connection. And we also connect with using touch. We're doing it here all the time we're here right now. We're hugging. I've got my little green sticker. You can hug me, okay? We shake hands. We give kisses on the cheek. We high five. We fist pump. We hold hands while we're walking. We love this. And I've been thinking about conflict, what it is. Now, we often disagree with each other. I want the lights on, they'll turn them off, I'm trying to go to sleep. It's cold, put a sweater on, no, I'm fine, leave me alone, okay? I'm tired of living here, I want to move someplace else. No, I love it here, I want to stay. And bigger things that we might disagree about. But even while we're disagreeing, we're still listening, we're still communicating and trying to come to some sort of resolution. At some point, however, it can turn into conflict. Someone decides that they want to be in conflict with us, which means that, in my mind, that they're not interested in what we have to say. They want to just push their point forward and I got distracted by the 10 minutes. And not resolve the issue any other way. But we don't have to agree that there's conflict. You don't have to agree. And Aikido addresses this. Its core principle is blending, joining with someone who's decided that they're in conflict with us, and then moving in a way that takes care of both of us, that keeps both of us relatively safe, which is pretty amazing, I think. Aikido literally means the way of harmony. It's also been called the art of peace. Okay, so then what do you do when someone decides that they're in conflict with you? How do you stay relaxed, welcoming, and open? It seems kind of wild, right? How do you keep your thinking? That's what this is really about. How do you maintain awareness? To stay proactive rather than reactive. Acting, thinking freshly in the moment rather than reacting. You can decide to do this. Harmony is always there. You just have to tap into it. This completely changes the dynamic of the interaction. First, you have to want to do it, and then you have to believe that you can. And beliefs matter. If you believe you can do something, no matter what it is, you more likely can. So, why don't you come over here? We're going to do a little demonstration. So, grab my wrist, the other side. So,
you want to introduce it?
no, I'll do it later.
Okay.
Yes.
Over there, so you're not in front of the podium?
I want to be heard also. I'm going to be talking just for a moment, and then I'll move, okay? So if he grabs my arm really hard, and I tense up, I'm stuck. I can't move. I feel my feet are just rooted into the ground. I'm stuck, okay? All right? I believe that the fight is right here between us, okay? Face to face, okay? At this point, not only does he have my hand, but he has my mind. He's captured my mind. So if he still continues holding hard, if I relax, I can move wherever I want. Right? It just depends on what my attention is and what my intention is. Right? So when I do this, if he holds me tightly, I'm stuck here. But there's a lot of space here. It's not right here. Often we get into conflicts and we think that this is it. But that's not the case. There's room on either side of us. There's room behind them. There's room behind me. There's room above us, even below us. There's all this space, right? As long as I don't believe it's here, all right? So it gives me lots of room to think and act. Okay, so now we're going to move over here. So usually when we do Aikido, there's mats here. So we'll be doing some Aikido, but it'll be maybe a little more gentle. It might be a little noisy. So, whatever you want. This is Pavel Pavlov. He does Aikido at Aikido
Aikido West Aikikai.
with Sensei Ishiyama.
Yes.
Thank you, Sensei, and thank you, Pavel, for your help.
Thank you very much.
And I need a little water. So as you can see, the movements of Aikido, we got tons of time. The movement of Aikido is very circular. Rather than believing in the conflict, we are moving in a circular way, joining with the energy of the other person, okay? Rather than going, I can't catch my breath. Rather than going against it. So what happens is we often end up facing in the same direction as the person who's coming at us. This serves as a metaphor for seeing things from the other person's point of view, right? Coming to a reconciliation, a mutual understanding. Aikido is powerful and effective, and my experience is that you can take the principles of it off the mat. Not only physically, but in all our interactions. In all our interactions. Okay? Using this mindful way of connecting, you can change how you interact with other people. Okay? And given the challenges we have in the world, this can be a great tool for connecting with people that we're in conflict with, or who simply have a different worldview than we have. How do you stay and listen when someone thinks differently from you? That's what this is about. And it's the listening that's really important, because it's not about convincing them right then, but it's just knowing that you're listening. And that's what Aikido is a lot. I'm listening to his body. It becomes a dance. So when you do this, you strengthen relationships, build connection, and create harmony. Relationships, connection, harmony. And we can choose where and how to use our attention this way. Decide it's something we want to do, and then practice integrating it. It's like going to the gym. You can practice anything, and you build up strength in that area. So in general, if someone upsets you and you want to react, don't leave mentally or physically. Consider staying. Notice what's happening. Just notice what's happening. Try to stay calm. Let your body calm. Really listen. And we listen on multiple levels, not just with our ears. We listen with all of our senses. And then keep the connection with the other person, to their mind and their body. And I found that when you do this, you connect to a deeper part of yourself. This increases your own self-awareness. I hope you consider trying this out with people in your life. It's not about being weak or permissive. We're not victims here. We're actually taking charge in a different way. You just have to have the willingness to do this and then believe that you could do it. Connecting this way is so important right now. Through unity comes change. A huge transformation could happen in this world, one person at a time, with these sort of interactions. Can you hear me? Raise your hand if you can hear me. We're connected. Thank you.
I realize that there's an error in the schedule that was printed in the program, because there's a 10-minute stretch break now. So if anybody would like to come and ask Rob any questions, he'll be available over here on the side of the stage, and we're going to set up for the musical performance. So you have a 10-minute break now.